Hello, this is Nick. Just wanted to give you a brief rundown on how to process the audio and video files for Boat Hawaii. So wanted to first show you, I have downloaded all the files that we saved yesterday onto my computer. So we have the audio recording from the mixer. We have the PowerPoint presentation recording off of PJ's computer. We have the recordings off the video camera. And then we also, as backup, we have the PowerPoint presentations that Sandra and PJ gave yesterday. So the first thing I recommend doing is processing the audio file. So we're going to open up the audio file in a program called Reaper. If you just double click it, if you have Reaper installed, it should open automatically. So Reaper takes a moment to open, and then the first thing we're going to do is find where PJ started teaching. So I'm going to zoom out by rolling the mouse wheel, and I remember Sandra gave an introduction before PJ started talking, so I'm going to see if we can find where Sandra's speaking.
To be bent.
Yeah, so we see Sandra speaking there. Let's see if this is PJ.
Today's teaching is just absolutely fast.
So I remember yesterday PJ gave an introduction before he gave his teaching, so that's probably what this is. So after his introduction he started teaching, so let's see if this is where that begins.
And I was like, okay, I just need to stop. So I did. Yeah. So today's tour.
Okay, so we found the beginning of where he's teaching, right here. So I'm going to press S on the keyboard, or I think you can, yeah. I'll just press S on the keyboard, and it'll split this audio clip into two pieces. So we have the left piece here, which is where Sandra is speaking, and then PJ's temporary introduction. So I'm just going to delete that. And then I'm going to drag this entire audio clip to the left, to the beginning, which is where 0 is. See, there's a time clock up here, right? A timeline. And then I'm going to zoom in to the end of his teaching and find out where he closes. So we don't always stop the recording right when he stops. Sometimes it could take us a few seconds. So let's see if we can find that.
Thank you.
Great. So we found the end of his teaching. So I'm going to press S on the keyboard again to split that section off. And now I'm just going to add a 3-second closing fade. So if you hold your mouse at the top, it'll change shape from a pointing arrow to this fade symbol. And then in the upper right hand corner of the little dialog that popped up, I'm going to drag this over until it says approximately 3 seconds. And then we can listen to that.
Thank you.
Cool. So we can hear a nice clean fade out to 0 volume. So I'm going to do the same thing at the beginning. I'm going to do a fade in, a 3-second fade in, approximately. Yep. All right, so let's listen to that.
So today's tour portion is about
a nice fade. All right, so now the last thing to do before we can create this file is to right-click it and go to Item Properties, or just press F2 key on your keyboard. And then we're going to click this normalize button, and all that does is bring the amplitude of everything up high. So watch, see how small this is? Well, on my screen it's like 1.25 inches. We click the normalize button, and then click apply. Now we have close to 3 inches of height, so doubled in height. So that's great. So now we have a nice loud audio signal
of Jerusalem
that doesn't have distortion, because we didn't bring it above 0 decibels, 0 dB. So I'm going to go to File, Render. I'm going to change the file output format to MP3, make sure it's set at 128 kilobits per second, constant bit rate, and then I'm going to change the output directory. I'm just going to throw this on back in the same folder that we were just working in that I showed you. I'm going to create a new one called, a subfolder called Released. And then I'm going to give it the final name that it'll receive before going onto Dropbox. So I put yesterday's date, and typical format that I show is teaching and then the person that taught. So this is teaching PJ Jones. I'll press save. I'm going to click render. So this will take about 1.5 minutes. So you got 1 minute and 10 seconds left. So during that time period, I'm going to start a program called Powerdirector. So if you press the Windows key on your keyboard and then type in Powerdirector, it'll come right up. So we'll start Powerdirector, and now we're going to import the video files that we recorded yesterday off of the camera. And we're also going to import the file that we recorded on PJ's computer, the high-resolution version of his PowerPoint in video form. And then the only thing we have last to do is import the audio file. So it should be in another 30 seconds. Now we're going to drag those to the timeline. So see how the video file is broken up into 3 pieces? this is typical of the camera because it limits. You see, they're all like right at, or the two first ones are right at 4 gigabytes. The camera has a file system that automatically limits the maximum file size to 4 gigabytes. So anytime you have a recording that's, let's see, we're in high resolution mode. If the recording is over 33 minutes, it's going to break it up into 2 files. So that's why we have 3 files, because the recording was over an hour and over an hour and 6 minutes. Now with our video files done processing, we see Reaper is done, so we can close Reaper. No reason to save anything. We can just listen to the MP3 file that we recorded, just to listen to it, make sure it sounds decent. We put it in the release folder.
So today's Torah portion, in your translation into Yahweh. Does it fit? I'm just sorry.
Sounds good. So this is the MP3 that's going to go on Dropbox. So we can show that how to upload these online in another video. But for now, we're going to also put that MP3 into Powerdirector. So we're going to select the first video clip, not all 3, just the first one that was recorded. And you can tell what order they are because they're file names. So this is NBI_0762, 0763, 0764. So this was the first one, chronologically, numerically. So I'm going to select the audio recording, the first video file, and then the PowerPoint that was recorded on PJ's computer. All 3 of those. And I'm going to drag those anywhere on the timeline. And you'll notice that all 3 of them are still selected right now. 1, 2, 3, because I just dragged them over. So now I'm going to click this button called Sync by Audio. This might take a few seconds. No big deal though. This is a great tool for aligning the video from several different recordings. Audio will be recorded too, so then the lips will match the audio that you hear. Because it's always hard to watch or listen to videos that the lips of the people speaking don't line up with the audio that you hear. So this will fix that problem, thankfully. It's a great tool. It's such a blessing to have. So I've got a few more seconds left. So any questions, feel free to call me or email me. I can help you walk through this. Cyberdirector or Powerdirector separates the video clips between the video portion and the audio portion, if you follow my mouse here. So what we're going to do is turn off the audio from the video. This is the file from the video camera. We're going to turn off that audio. And we're also going to turn off the audio from PJ's laptop, because his laptop was also recording audio, thankfully. If it wasn't recording those audios, then we wouldn't have a way to line these up easily. So now what we're going to do is, remember, this is our high quality audio clip. So we're going to chop off the PowerPoint. First select the PowerPoint clip on PJ's computer, and then you're going to drag the left hand side of it into where it lines up with the audio clip. So that'll cut it. We'll do the same thing with the video clip. Right, so now all 3 of those have the same starting point. So let's look at that real quick just to see if we can see PJ's lips moving to line up.
So today's Torah portion is about Israel in the land.
Great. So you saw PJ's, the video lined up with the audio. So I'm going to select all 3 files, drag them to 0 on the timeline. And then I'm going to take the next video file. The first one we have is 62. You can see we have these 3 files are on the timeline. They have a green checkbox. So in the third audio file, we're going to drag, second video file, we're going to drag onto the timeline. And then the third one, we're going to do the same thing. Drag it, line it up. Now we're going to zoom in here, and we're going to clip this video file to line up with the end of the high quality audio. We're going to do the same thing with the PowerPoint that was on PJ's computer. We're going to crop it so that it lines up with the end of the audio file. All right, so that part's good. So now we're going to use the PIP designer to overlay the high quality PowerPoint onto the projector screen where that was. So I'm going to zoom into 400% so it's easier for me to see what I'm doing. And I'm going to just shape this. There's a little blue dot here. I'm just going to shape that to fit So I'm going to skew this video image is basically what I'm doing so that it will match the PowerPoint. So we'll have a perspective that seems reasonable. I just want to minimize the audience eyes from detecting that this is a modified video. Obviously we know that it's been highly modified for overlaying video on top of video, but we just want it to be more cosmetically appealing. We want people to stay and listen to the good word of God. And we're doing this on a budget, so we're doing the best we can that I'm aware of. So if you get any great ideas, please let me know, and we can make this even better. Alright, so I'm actually going to drag this down a little bit further because we have a little bit of the, right here we have a little bit of the original screen being displayed. So I want to just cover that up, so I'm going to just make our overlay a little bit larger. Alright, so now we have the PowerPoint overlaid. So now, next thing we're going to do is clean up the way that the video looks. So if you right click them and go to Edit and Color Director, Cyberlink has a great set of tools for optimizing the color. So I've picked out some presets here in the global adjustment tools, tone and white balance and stuff, just to make the image look better. And so I have all these saved in this 1105, so it really improves the quality or the appearance of the video. So I'm going to save that, and I'm going to do the same thing with these other two clips. Go to Edit Video, Edit Color Director, Preset 1105. Go back, looks like a little bit blurry there for some reason. There's nothing we can do about that now though, that I'm aware of. Our raw video file is blurry, so we're kind of stuck with it. I accidentally undid our work there. So do the same thing to this video, just so they're all the same. And we're going to add a fade in and a fade out to the video tracks. Oh, can't see that. Got to zoom in. So add it to the end of each one of these, and to the beginning. Yep. Now I'm just going to save this as our project, our video project. And then I'm going to click this produce button. Oh, I guess we could watch it just to make sure it looks okay before we commit to generating this video. So let's watch it for a second.
So today's tour portion.
So I see the fade in.
So today's tour portion is about.
All right.
Let them turn against them.
In the middle, and then it'll fade out.
Yes, 6 days flash.
Wow, I really got blurry there. Okay, so we're going to go to Produce and select H264 AVI. Make sure you select MP4, and then I recommend choosing an MP4 that's HD or 1080p. So 1920 by 1080 at 30 frames per second, and this will end up being a 16 megabit per second video format. Select the North American format, and I always select fast video rendering technology and use hardware video encoder. And I'm going to change the location to save this file onto the same folder that we have these other files. So put the date and then put video project. I will name it something different whenever we upload it to YouTube. So now you click start, and then let's see. Looks like 3 hours from now we should have our video. That's pretty exciting. Thanks for watching.